Hey, it's hammer time. We're lucky to have Sandra Watson on the show today. Sandra is the head honcho of all the economic development activity for the state of Arizona. Welcome, Sandra.
Hi, Glenn.
I'm just thankful that you're leading our economic development efforts, because in the history of the state of Arizona, I don't believe things have ever been, and I'm knocking on wood, operating this smoothly in terms of just winning a lot of job announcements. And maybe if you could talk a little bit about why are we winning so much?
I'm thankful that we have just an incredible governor leading the charge. The policies that he has implemented, his focus on economic development and education has really contributed significantly to the success that we have seen in the state. Working here in Arizona, it really is a team sport. And as I mentioned, obviously with the governor's leadership, that extends to all of the various organizations working very, very closely with your organization, other nonprofits out there, the cities, the regional groups, everyone working together. And in Arizona, there's been some significant things that have happened over the last few years. As you know, we've increased the number of net new jobs to 274,000 just over the last 3 years. So very significant for our state, and we're seeing this incredible growth opportunities for individuals in our state. We've got not only a strong talent base that is supporting the growth of these companies, but we've got the right policies in place. So as you know, Arizona is the first in the country to establish a fintech sandbox. The governor had signed that legislation back in March. And that has really put Arizona on the international stage.
Now, you've been a leader throughout your career on the area of technology. It seems that you've been way ahead of that curve. Well, why always that focus on technology?
Technology is changing the way we live, changing the way we work, and it's really important that we develop a strong tech-based economic development strategy. So we started to really focus on technology years ago, making sure that this state has a foundation that is built on technology economic development strategies, working with the Tech Council, but also working with organizations like yours and others across the state to really ensure that we've got the right policies. Arizona has really become known as a place to not only test new ideas, but to scale and launch new ideas.
Well, in the area of autonomous vehicles, there was just a recent announcement about ACA, and could you maybe talk a little bit about that important area?
Yeah, absolutely. It's extremely exciting for the ACA to be a part of this overall initiative that the governor has launched. It's called the Institute for Automated Mobility, IAM. And the focus around IAM is really to bring industry together with government and academia to work very closely as new technologies are developed in automated mobility. It's really important that the government or policymakers are working with industry to better understand where these technologies are going. Clearly, the focus for governments is going to be around safety and consumer protections. And so we want to make sure that we're working with industry. But again, as we look at ways to enhance our opportunities in Arizona, it really is to allow companies, especially the private sector, who are developing these new innovative disruptive technologies, the opportunity to test these in an environment where they can, work with governments. And the governor issued an executive order allowing for the testing of these vehicles and followed up with an enhanced executive order and now with the Institute. And so we have continuously shown progress in working with industry, and we're very, very excited that we're working with ASU, U of A, NAU, working together with industry. Intel was our very first corporate sponsor into the Institute, and then they're developing some research currently with ASU.
I mean, with what Intel is doing, Waymo, Intel has, I believe it's Internet of Things division here. We're the startup state, Israel's a startup nation. I know Intel through Mobileye, which was originally based in Jerusalem, has a huge autonomous vehicle entity. So it seems that that's a natural for this state.
The Internet of Things is significant and clearly a foundation to all new technologies, smart cities, smart borders. I mean, the conversations that our cities are having with universities, with the private sector around smart city technology is really important.
I've heard you give the Arizona pitch. You have a really interesting take. Talk a little bit about, I love talking about there were 7 million people. We passed Massachusetts as the 14th largest state now, and there's no sign of stopping. But you really put it in the context in terms of where we are nationally and even internationally as to being a real value add as to why companies should come and locate, or if they're here, expand in Arizona.
That largely lies around the strategic location of Arizona. When you think about an economic development strategy, most focus on the assets within their region. What we'd like to look at is not only do we have significant assets in our region and our state that help us attract the companies or help existing companies grow their operations, but we're also looking at adjacent markets. For instance, California, the 6th largest economy in the world. The fact that we are right next door to California and sort of the global opportunities that presents is really significant for us. We have 2 offices in California, making sure we're connected with those businesses. Also, our proximity to Mexico, and I believe the last time I checked, Mexico is the 13th largest economy in the world. So the fact that we are surrounded by world markets, we have a strong relationship with Canada. So when you start to look at the markets that you have access to here in Arizona, without the cost structure or the regulatory challenges of some of those markets, it makes sense for companies to be in Arizona. They can access over 65 million consumers in those markets right from here in Arizona, as well as connecting to supply chain opportunities, capital. So we like to say that we're a gateway into world economies from here in Arizona.
And one of the things that I really think is smart is that we have a beachhead in California to help companies. Could you maybe talk a little bit about the California strategy that seems to be paying off big time for the state?
We have a presence in California. We're working very, very closely with companies in California who are looking to expand their operations. So companies who are looking to continue to grow their operations and need access to talent, need access to a lower cost environment, the regulatory environment that is favorable to their business. Arizona offers those key components and ingredients to companies who are looking to expand their reach. In Arizona, I'd like to mention, then you know this as well, but ASU has been ranked 4 years in a row as the most innovative university in the entire country. That is so significant for the state, and the work that they're doing at ASU has really contributed to our ability to sell Arizona as a location.
Well, I believe with ASU, most innovative university, I believe they have the largest engineering school in the country now.
Correct. And they continue to keep growing that talent base. That the university went from about 5,000 to 7,000 engineers several years ago to over 20,000 enrolled today. So that is giving Arizona an opportunity to showcase how we can scale programs like that here in Arizona and provide employers with the needed talent that they're looking for.
And Sandra, I know you've put a lot of time, when you talk just to dig a little bit deeper into the workforce area, the 3 universities, I believe, or 3 major public universities sit on your board, at least it's ex officio.
Yes.
And I'm not sure we've ever been at a time where the presidents of the University of Arizona, NAU, and ASU have been doing so well. And then we have great community college system. Maricopa Community College is one of the largest, if not the largest system in the country. And then some great private options in Grand Canyon University. So when it comes to the workforce, it seems that Arizona, we're really doing something that's very useful for our employers.
Not only are we able to educate students from Arizona-based schools, but also this is a great location. Students are being attracted both nationally and internationally to come to Arizona. So as you mentioned, we've got incredible community colleges. We've got an amazing university system, both public and private. Our leaders in both academia and private sector, in addition to the public sector, are all working together, identifying where the gaps are, and then working together to develop the right solution. So the 3 university presidents do serve on our board, as does the president of Grand Canyon University. We also have community college representation with the Maricopa Community College chancellor serving on our board as well. This gives us an opportunity to better understand what is being currently produced in post-secondary education, but also coupled with what is happening in the private sector where the growth opportunities are. This is a great location for companies who are interested in advancing cybersecurity opportunities. We're seeing that across all industries, and working with our universities and our community colleges to ensure that we've got the talent that our employers need is absolutely critical.
In the healthcare and biotech, I believe Mayo also, we have some of the best brands in the world. Can you talk a little bit about some of the developments in that area?
Absolutely. The fact that Mayo has just recently announced a very significant expansion for Arizona, so we're very pleased and thankful that Mayo has a very, very strong presence here in Arizona. In addition, we've got TGen, as you know, which is an incredible asset to the state, and is doing some really amazing things with the City of Hope. We see the significant collaborations in bioscience and healthcare. We've got excellent hospitals in our state, as you know. Barrows is doing amazing things. All of our hospitals are really engaged, and they're engaged around an economic development strategy as well.
One of the things I love is, for example, the Lucid Motors is using that supply chain, the fact that Mexico has a very strong supply chain in autos, for Arizona to land really a very exciting investment in an area that I expect will be a growth area for many years to come.
There will be many opportunities like that to come because of the strong relationship that we have with Sonora. Our governors have really developed a very strong, not only strong business relationship, but the opportunity for us to look at ways to develop new strategies, new opportunities. We actually developed a brand new joint marketing piece where we're talking about the assets, the value proposition for both Sonora and Arizona combined. We met, with a couple of companies just recently who are very interested in that Lucid model and how we were able to bring both of the governments together to help support that. I'm hoping that we'll have many new exciting announcements around that same strategy.
We have more jobs available than people looking for work. And I just want to say, for a chamber guy, just thank you for everything you're doing to lead the charge. And for us at the Arizona Chamber, we're proud to follow and help however we can.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.